to another video, and today I actually have one of the new decks from Rise of the Duelists called Dragma for you guys. I'm going to be profiling and showing you guys some 1-card, 2-card combos with Invoked Dragma. This deck is absolutely nuts, and it can easily go like +5, which is absolutely insane off of like a 1-card combo. So yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and of course, let's get into the video. So first off, the first combo, I'm going to be showing you guys 3 combos and then the deck. All the combos are pretty straightforward, and all of them are very, very good. So here's the first one. Start off by going Meltdown. Meltdown will, of course, search you your Alistair, the Invoker. Next up, you can normal summon the Invoker and go Invoker Effect. That will search you Invocation. Basically, if you guys didn't know, one Alistair is actually equal to Mikaba. So that's your second summon, making Almirage. Your third summon is, of course, Secure Gardna. And this combo plays around your Nibiru, because your fourth summon makes, of course, Mikaba. And then, of course, Invocation Affecting Graveyard adds back the Alistair. So in case your opponent Nibirus you on your next summon, you can discard and negate and banish the Nibiru. So fourth summon Mikaba, very, very standard stuff. You continue over here to activate this new card, Disciple of the Nadir. So yeah, this card allows you to send, actually from your extra deck, El Shadal Ap Cologne, because I am running Shadals in this. Not in the main deck, but in the extra deck, yes, to search probably the best one, the Ecclesia, the Dragma Saint. Over here, you can actually go up Cologne Effect to add the new card Shadal Ruck, and then discard the Ruck to the grave. You special summon the Dragma Saint over here from your hand because you have a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, and activate the effect. I accidentally sent it to the graveyard, but it is to the hand over here. We add Maximus Dragma. Dragma will summon it itself because you control a because you can banish a Link, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz monster from your graveyard and summon itself. So you will banish Almirage and summon the Dragma. It is 3,000 defense, so that is pretty good. Next up, you can go Dragma Effect and send Construct along with Incarnation Dragon Bastard. So yeah, funny name. Yeah. And then your opponent will send 2 cards from their extra deck to the graveyard as well. This will trigger over here your Shadal Construct in the graveyard because it was sent to the graveyard to add back your Shadal Rook. And then you can go actually set the Rook over here, and in end phase, Bastard triggers, and that searches you your Fleur de Lis, the Dragma Knight. Yeah. And then you, of course, pass. In standby, you can activate the Shadal Rook, and actually what this does is allows you to fusion summon a Shadal monster from your extra deck using monsters in your field or graveyard as a material by banishing them. So you banish the Ash Dragon along with the Construct, and that gives you a window in your opponent's turn. As you can see, this was a 2-card combo, and now you still have 2 cards in hand and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards on field. That means that we went +5, and we have a monster negate over here and banish. They can only special summon once, a 3,000 beater, along with a 15, and all of these have effects that can come in later. Pretty useful. So yeah, that is it for combo number 1. Very, very cool combo, easy +5 2-card combo. Yeah, let's get on to the next combo. So over here, actually, we have a 1-card combo using Disciple. Once again, Disciple is probably the best card in the deck, to be honest. Yeah, let's do this. So you start by going Disciple, once again, sending the App Cologne. This will allow you to search Ecclesia, and App Cologne will activate, searching you, of course, your Shadal Rook. Over here, you will discard the Rook, and then normal summon the Ecclesia. This searches you your Dragma, and then Dragma effect will banish App Cologne, summon itself, and then activate the effect to send Construct and Bastard once again, triggering Construct, adding back the Rook, of course. In the end phase, the Bastard will trigger, searching you Fleur de Lis, the Dragma Knight, and of course, in your opponent's standby phase, you can go Rook, and then banishing your Bastard and Construct summons once again a 1-card window in your opponent's turn. Yeah, so you have a 3,000 beater. Yeah, +3 over here, 1-card window, very, very good combo. Because, yeah, like, you have a 3,000 defense, you have the 15, and, of course, a 22 window, which is, you know, that's most decks can't handle window in this day and age, because the thing that constricts you to only special summoning once is just so big that it's just so incredibly good. And this is the only reason why Shadals are competitive, actually, in, like, Invoked Shadals in the last format. This was literally the only reason. Winda is such a good card. And on to our final combo, we actually have over here another 3-card combo. So we'll just need a Dragma this time and an Invoker or any way to get to Alistair, and then a discard. So first off, what you do is you normal summon the Alistair, search yourself in Invocation. Next up, you go into a Mirage, which then allows you to go into the Secure Garden. I'm just saving time and sending it to the graveyard. Or, well, forget what I said. No, we're not. We're gonna activate Invocation, banishing the Alistair and the Secure Gardener, which allows us to go into Makaba. Then Invocation shuffles itself back from the graveyard to the deck and adds you back the Alistair. So 4 summons once again, playing around the Nibiru. Next up, you can actually over here banish the Mirage Engrave to summon your Dragma from hand. Basically, what's good about this is that for this combo, you don't need the Ecclesia. As long as you have access to a Maximus, then you're good to go. So you summon Dragma, and then activate the effect, sending Ash, and actually not Construct this time, but we send App Cologne. App Cologne will now trigger, searching us our Rook once again, but this time we discard our discard, which happens to be Called by the Grave. And yeah, so we set the Rook, we go into the end phase, and end phase Ash Dragon triggers, and that actually we choose to summon Ecclesia from the deck, and then Ecclesia triggers on summons, searching our Fleur de Lis, the Dragma Knight, and of course we pass. Then letting us go into the standby phase, we activate Rook and we fusion summon into Winda. This combo is basically, in case you guys don't really have like I would say a starter card, because you saw that we only really had like Dragma in our hand, which isn't the best. But then, as you can see, one Dragma does give us access to a window, which is really, really good because Dragma equals full combo, basically. Well, full combo being window. And yeah, so that is it for that combo, and that is all the combos I have to show you guys. Let's hop into right into the deck profile over here. So first off, we are running 3 of the best one, Ecclesia, the Dragma Saint, triple Ecclesia. This card's absolutely nuts. It searches you, your Dragma, and yeah, it's very, very good. We have double Dragma. Dragma is searchable, so you are only running 2, and this is what let you use, like, combo off and summon the window. Next up, we have double Fleur. It's what you search off of course, Bastard. So yeah, pretty good card to have. Triple Alistair, the Invoker. You want to see this card as much as often. It's so free because the deck doesn't really need its normal summon, because they all can special summon themselves from the hand with like certain requirements. So yeah, Alistair the Invoker is an Alistair engine is like an amazing like engine to run in the deck. Next up, we have triple Ash, because obviously Ash is one of the best hand traps, like literally ever. Triple Valor, because Valor is so good this format, being able to not be once per turn. It's like Imperm, just a bit worse. Next up, onto our spells, you have our starter over here, Triple Disciple of the Nadir. This card is so good because it sends you your, of course, what's it called? App Cologne, and searches you your starter, which is, of course, Ecclesia, and then App Clone will trigger, and then you just go full combo. So yeah, this card is a mandatory 3 of in the deck. This card is so, so good, and if you guys are running anything less than 3, then you guys are playing the deck wrong. Just flat out, you're just playing the deck wrong. Next up, we have Triple Pot of Desires, because you have multiple copies of everything you need. Usually in Alistair decks, you're not worrying too much about banishing anything in particular. You don't have any bricks or anything. So yeah, Desires works really, really well in the deck. We have the 1 terraforming, so we can search, of course, our triple magical meltdown, which searches our Alistair, which means that we are running 7 copies of Alistair, which is like an 80% chance of seeing it in our opening hand. And yeah, that's the math. That's really, really good. Next up, we have double Cosmic Cyclone in the main for the Elec matchup, just because Cyclone is a pretty good card. Triple Called by the Grave, because we want our combos to resolve, along with the 1 Upstart Goblin, because it is a 39 deck, so for more consistency. And this deck is very consistent. The combos I showed you was with the, like, generic combos, but then the more cards you have in your hand, the more that you add to it, you will end on your windows and stuff, but you will also end on, like, for example, an end test, and you will also end on, like, imprims, and also end on hand traps, also end on, like, Cosmic Cyclones, and even Called by the Grave is an interruption during your opponent's turn. Like, you can call your Jet Synchron, their Jet Synchron, which is really good. So next up for our traps, you have Triple Infinite Impermanence. Once again, this is the better Valor. Yeah, very, very good card. We aren't running Halki Fabrax, that's why Infinite Impermanence is also a bit better than Veiler. Next up, we have double of Dragma Punishment. This card is pretty cool because it is spot removal, which is pretty good in any deck, and also gets your app clone into the graveyard, which is very, very mandatory for the deck to work like with the extra deck that I'm running. Because you'll notice I am running like these fusion monsters in the extra deck, which obviously you have no way to make. They're just for your like Ruck combo and all that stuff. And finally, speaking of the devil, we have Shadal Ruck over here. Ruck is such a good card, allows you to fusion summon the window during your opponent's turn. And yeah, that's basically it for the main deck. Onto the extra deck, we have double Macabre. Definitely mandatory with all the Asters running. You will be going through two. So yeah, just run two Construct because you're not going to be summoning it. You really only need one for the graveyard effect to add back the Ruck. Starving Venom, because it does come up. You do have a decent amount of like dark monsters. You see like your Dragmas are lights, but then you have like these as darks, the Asters, and then all the monsters from the extra deck basically are darks. Yeah. So Starving Venom works really well. I'm not complaining about it. Double Incarnation Dragon Bastard. I love this card. It's so good. It generates so many pluses, being able to not only search you and summon from deck, but also like be fodder for your window in your opponent's turn. It's just too good to pass up. Definitely a solid two of Invoked to Alguades. I actually find that this card is pretty good. If you want to combo off on your turn, you can just make this instead of the window, go in for the OTK. And we have one Purgatorio. You make that with the Ash, of course. Also a very, very good card for an OTK type thing. If you're going second, you want to have Purgatorio, and of course Ash makes it for you. App Clone is mandatory. You're never going to be summoning it, but once again, I mean, it is possible in like a really, really weird scenario. If you like didn't go through App Clone, you have like for some reason Construct and like Winda and Graveyard, you can banish them off of a wreck if you didn't even use super situational stuff. So probably not going to happen. But yeah, one App Clone for the sending, and then the best card, El Shaddai Winda, making both players only able to summon one special summon once per turn is just so good, and people are just not gonna out this. This is your win condition, and yeah, you summon this, most people will just extend out the handshake. One end test, because this card does come up if you send it to the graveyard. It works. Yeah, very, very self-explanatory. Boral Sword Dragon to go in for the OTKs, of course. This is really up to preference. You guys can run access code like Celine combo, even because you are running Veiler, and a bunch of them are spellcasters. But I personally think that it's not worth it. I think the Boral Sword is just much better in the deck with the fact that you can spam out monsters so easily. Cross Sheep is a very I would say mandatory card in any fusion based deck, right? Because you can summon back just a really good generic card. And then, of course, Secure Gardener along with the Al Mirage over here to go for your one card Mikaba and player on Nibiru. That is it for the extra deck. Side deck is very, I guess, self-explanatory once again. Triple Nibiru, Pink Chops, Mind Control, third Cosmic, triple Dark Lunar More, triple Lightning Storm, and triple Evenly Matched. Yeah, that is it for the deck profile. I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Invoked Dragmas once again, an absolutely insane deck. And if you guys are going to be picking up the cards, pick them up as soon as possible, because I do think that they might go up like a couple bucks each. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and of course I will catch you guys in the next video. All right, peace.